Welcome to Cape Connect. Cape Connect is a show, as you know, about people and personalities. It's about businesses, organizations, and possibilities. And we're very lucky today to have Deb Collins, the owner and the cook, the baker at Idgy's restaurant, Idgy's. We're going to be talking about gluten-free food and a lot of yummy things.
Well, thank you for having me, Al.
Oh, you bet.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, and there's so many things to start with. You know, we could start asking about, you know, how did the restaurant come to be? We could certainly ask about the need to have such a restaurant because it is dedicated to gluten-free. You can go into some restaurants on the Cape, and they've got a few things that are gluten-free on the menu, but they're doing them in a kitchen where they got a lot of bread and a lot of contamination for people that want it gluten-free. So where do we start? Do we talk about your menu? Would you talk about gluten-free, or?
Why don't we talk about where the restaurant originated from? I saw that there was a need for a place that was going to guarantee that you're safe, because I heard so many people, you know, go out to restaurants that were doing, you know, trying to do a good job and execute gluten-free options. Unfortunately, you know, many times you might find that favorite restaurant, and the first 10 times you go, you're safe and you have a wonderful meal. And then on the 11th time, someone, you know, in the organization doesn't quite understand, and maybe they do something as simple as remove a breadstick from your salad instead of having a new one made. I would hear those stories constantly. I would also hear a lot of complaints about the amount of choices that people had in those restaurants, because, you know, restaurateurs have a lot on their plate, and they're trying to guarantee their meals, but then they have this whole new thing they have to learn about. And, you know, to provide really good products, you know, more and more things are coming about that are great, but it's difficult to find good products that you want to add to your menu that are gluten-free. So it just adds a whole another level.
And there's also, I understand, the problem that even though they could make serious mistakes, they could also make casual mistakes of dropping a few crumbs, just, you know, having themselves eaten a sandwich behind the door, and then their hands still have bread. Gluten, we have to say, is a protein which is present in all kinds of wheat.
Barley, and rye.
And actually, you know, gluten is in, there's a corn gluten and so on and so forth. It's the doughy kind of feeling. It's what, when a cake rises, keeps the cake up instead of collapsing. You've had some collapse.
It gives it the structure that it needs.
And so corn gluten, for people that have a gluten sensitivity or a preference not to have, as they say, gluten-free, but they're really talking about free of these special wheat, rye, and barley
proteins.
And those grains are a no-no.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know the cause behind it. You know, a lot of people ask me what I think, and I do believe that it was because of the way that we have spliced the wheat from, you know, originally the ancient grains, there were only 5 types of wheat, and currently there are 25,000. So, you know, at this point in time, it's, you know, studies have been done where the amount of gluten that we would get from ancient wheat is much less in quantity that you could get out of a slice of bread, versus today, the amount of gluten that you absorb is much greater, and that may be part of why some people are so sensitive to it. I really don't know.
Well, I'm a biophysicist, a professor, a scientist, and I can say that they're still learning a lot, and what you may know today will be superseded by discoveries. It's been happening for quite a few years that we know the biology, then we know the microbiology, then we know all the proteins, all the molecular events, all the immunological events, and, you know, and you don't have to know all of that stuff to realize that it's bad for people that have a gluten sensitivity, as they say, for wheat, barley, and rye, but it's also something that people that are gluten intolerant, not celiacs as they're known, but gluten intolerant, that also need gluten-free meals.
Right.
And the cure for the disease is don't eat any more wheat, barley, or
Right.
rye gluten.
Right. And I think that's where, people in the restaurant industry, servers and so forth,
Yeah.
they get confused. There's still a lot of people that think it's a fad diet or it's not as severe as like a peanut allergy or things like that.
Mm.
And I think the confusion is where you have celiac disease, it's damaging your body. And with a gluten intolerance, it's more of a discomfort. You're encouraged not to eat wheat, barley, and rye.
Yes.
However, some people will cheat, and that sends a different message. When you're in a restaurant and you're ordering something, and you say, I need to eat off the gluten-free menu, and then they'll bring something and they'll say to you, oh, well, there's gluten in this roll, and they'll say, oh, well, I can have a little. and that just sends this message out to servers like, it's not real, it's not a legitimate disease, but it is, and it's just a matter of understanding that there's celiacs, there's gluten intolerance, and then there's people that choose a gluten-free diet because they feel it's healthier.
Yeah.
And what I tell people is just treat it like a peanut allergy. Don't worry about why people are on a gluten-free diet. Don't concern yourself with that.
Just be careful.
Just treat it as a peanut allergy and don't worry about the rest.
Yeah.
And that way you're not going to get people sick when you go out to dinner. We have a 100% gluten-free restaurant.
And that is amazing, 100%, because my wife, as I've told you, has this celiac disease, and so she has to be very careful. In fact, not only will she get horrible diarrhea as her intestinal walls, the villi, are disappearing,
Right.
She also has something which about maybe a fifth of the people with celiac disease, the skin, dermatitis herpetiformis, and it's a blistering kind of painful thing that some people commit suicide rather than endure.
Right.
It's a terrible, terrible thing that can happen to what number of people? Well, in this country, we understand that there are several million people that have this inherited capacity to have this reaction,
Right.
self-immune reaction. But there's also about only 10% of the people know that they have it.
Right.
And so there are an awful lot of people going around that should know they haven't yet been diagnosed. And they're better off if they are on a gluten-free diet.
I think one of the reasons that so many people go undiagnosed is because people present differently. Like some people have skin irritation, blistering, like an eczema. Other people will have hair loss. Some people will have migraines. Then you have people with intestinal issues. Just so many different things. And then, going gluten-free is also a number of people, doctors have told them, if you have arthritis, it's going to help reduce inflammation to go gluten-free. Yeah. And it's just, I recommend people to try it if you have any issues. Definitely talk to your doctor. But we're here because we want to be able to meet the needs of those folks that are out there. And we, I wouldn't call us a healthy restaurant. You can have absolutely healthy choices, but we're there to provide you with your old-time favorites that you don't get to go out and have on a regular basis, like spaghetti and meatballs, cinnamon rolls, homemade English muffins, fresh baked breads. We bake all day long. So.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, I can attest to that. I'm a loyal customer here. And we're
always devising new things. When you come in and you say you haven't had anything in a long time.
My wife, just feels that she wants to be safe.
Right.
And she knows she's safe if she goes there, whereas she's not going to go anywhere else. Occasionally to try some seafood if they promise it's been cooked without any gluten around anywhere like that, but she's to the point where she says, I think, I can only be in a 100% safe restaurant if we go out. And, paninis, pizza, kids' meals. Kids actually, I think, are a special case because, in a sense, back last century, kids would die because they didn't get adequate nutrition, since if they got exposed continuously before they understood the disease properly, they weren't able to survive.
Right. They basically die of malnutrition because your body's unable to absorb the nutrients that you need because of the damage that's being caused from having the gluten.
Yeah.
And you know, we do offer a children's menu, and we try to treat it the way that when you go out to any other restaurant, you know, they have a kids menu and they get their pick of a drink, they get their pick of a meal, you know, and then we also give the kiddies snack. And it's just like if you go out to other restaurants. So we give a little chocolate chip cookie and a little fruit snack. And if, you know, if they have a dairy allergy, then we substitute with a vegan cookie. We have different options, but we try to have it be, you know, a safe zone and have it be their place. And you'll see little kids come in and they get so excited because, you know, normally they get nervous going out to a restaurant. They have to worry, and they're very limited. And it's hard to tell kids. It's hard to tell kids, no, honey, you can't have that. Yeah, and you know.
I'm taking a different point of view. I was a kid once, but I'm a grandfather now. And the kids are at ease, and there are all those very cute little crayoned little pictures that you got there.
We call it our wall of fame. So all the kids come in and they write they draw pictures and they, you know, sign their names. And the next time they come in, they want to see that it's still there. And it's starting to cover that whole wall. And we just started over, and we've only been open for 6 weeks now, and it's already filling up. So we have to figure something out. We haven't even gotten into the summer yet.
Well, and then they don't get a lecture on gluten-free when they come in. They get
Don't.
food. That's a restaurant. This isn't a classroom.
Exactly, and it's really cute to see their reactions when their mom or dad or their grandma gets, you know, looks at them and says, "Honey, you can, you know, what do you want?" And they say, "Well," and they look at them like expecting this. "Well, you can have this or this." And they go, "Well, no, honey, you can have whatever you want. What do you want? You want pizza? You want a grilled cheese? You want macaroni and cheese? You want spaghetti and meatballs?" And they're like, their eyes just light up, and then they're like, "Can I have French toast?" "Well, yes, you can. You can have French toast." And you know, they get very excited, and it makes it, it makes it worthwhile when you're working long hours, and you know, to see those reactions, see those children come back, and even adults. I mean, adults come in and they literally spin in circles, looking, going, "Really? Everything? Everything's gluten-free?" And I say, everything's gluten-free. But what comes with that is also a lot of people that are celiac or gluten insensitive have other allergies that go along with it. You know, there's a lot of people that have secondary allergies, like dairy is very common, nut allergies, soy allergies, corn allergies. So we do have options, you know. I've actually had customers come in. I had a woman come in with her family that she had 52 allergies, and we were able to feed her. We were able to feed her, and it wasn't just a salad. But she was almost in tears when she left. She said, "Do you realize how long it's been that I've been able to come out with my family, have a meal, and we could pick off each other's plates? You know, I could taste something that they were having," and it was a great feeling. And when I first got going, I wasn't sure. People told me, don't do 100%. You're not going to have enough customers. And I said, but this is what makes it safe. Being 100% gluten-free is what makes it safe. It's what makes us different from everyone else. And if it doesn't work, I could always have offerings of gluten-free like everyone else does. But I definitely think it's worthwhile. And I would love to open, you know, a full-scale restaurant. We're basically breakfast, lunch, and a bakery at this point. You know, we do birthday cakes.
You're a place to go for breakfast.
We're definitely a place for breakfast,
you can go for
lunch.
Breakfast any time of the day,
all the way up till we close. We serve breakfast. That's right.
Breakfast.
when you've trekked 2 hours, you know, to get to the Cape, and you're hungry and you want to stop for a meal, you know, and you haven't had pancakes in, you know, 3 years. We want to be able to accommodate you. So, we offer our breakfast all day, and a lot of people take us up on it, you know, the omelets and stuff. So we have some wonderful, loyal customers, and
it's more than just the people keep coming again. It's like a clubhouse when I was there. I mean,
it is.
You're there greeting old friends as they come in.
And people will go away for the winter and come back, and it's like, "Oh, we missed you," and you know. And then we have people that come in that, you know, you'll just see our customers all having conversations with each other because of what they've been through with, you know, different different restaurants that they've gone to, or just being able to find a safe place to eat. But best of all for me is that they love the food. Bottom line, it has to taste good. It doesn't, you know, it's important that it's safe, but it has to taste good too. You have to want to go there to eat it. And our customers, they love the food. And I have people come in that find us accidentally that may not be gluten intolerant. And they, when I tell them, sometimes I have to tell them, they'll hear all these conversations going on. You can't miss it. When you come in, people just have to talk. And they'll listen to the conversations and be like, is this gluten-free? And I'm like, oh yeah, everything here. And they're like, really? Because they have this, you know, all they've heard is how bad gluten-free is. And you know what, we make mistakes too, and we still are working out kinks with different things that we try. But we try not to put anything on the menu that we don't feel we've done a good job.
I brought some things back here to the TV station, you know, when I was there last with a fellow who's going to help me with the editing of the show. He was hungry, and then I shared with his dad the other half of my panini, and you know, it was just, you know, it's good food.
Yeah, we want people talking about the food, and you know, we've done different types of advertising, but word of mouth is the best. Word of mouth is by far the best. When, you know, people are sitting in a family setting, or, you know, they go to a baseball game and something comes up and they start talking about it. Hey, have you tried Idgy's? And they're like, what's this? What's this Idgy's place? 100%. And then they have to come in, and they come in, they're like, well, I heard about you. And they come in and they want to try the cinnamon rolls, are the biggest thing.
Well, you're right in the middle of the Cape, South Yarmouth, you know, White's Path. I don't know, by the way, why White's Path? Why doesn't it have an apostrophe? Why apostrophe S Path? It's White's Path, no apostrophe.
I don't know. I really don't know why. We actually, the name of Idgy's came from my favorite movie, Fried Green Tomatoes.
Fried Green Tomatoes is a great show. It's a 1990-something show, and it's got such good energy, and it's got a secret mystery in there.
That's right. Secrets in the sauce.
We're not going to tell, but people have to see it. But Idgy's, Idgy's was a made-up name. It's
a made-up name. It's a character in Fried Green Tomatoes. But originally, what got me on the Fried Green Tomatoes movie was Station Ave used to be, way back in the day, a train station. And I wanted to call it Whistle Stop Cafe.
Right there by Exit 8 on Route 6 used to be
a
train station.
And so I wanted to call it Whistle Stop Cafe. And what I found out was there's already a chain in the south, which is also from Fried Green Tomatoes. But I thought that would be just a really cute name for the place. And then once I got stuck on that, I went, Idgy, that is so different, you know, and I went with it. And it's like, people are like, how do you spell it? How do you say it? Where did you get it? It's always a conversation starter when people come in. So it's been a lot of fun. And, you know, we're coming up on our 5th season. May 1st was our 4-year anniversary, but the beginning of our 5th season, 5th summer here on the Cape. So they say once you make 5 years, you're good to go. But I think on the Cape, being as seasonal as it is, I was talking to my branch manager at the bank that I go to, Erica, and she said it's more like 8 years to know that you're going to survive on the Cape.
You're still working it, but
I'm still working on it.
But also to mention, you know, this month, May, is National Gluten Awareness Month.
Yes, it is. We picked a good month to start.
So we're doing the show at the right time, just as well as you're having your celebration of the 50th at the right time.
That's right. That's right.
Very good.
And we have a wonderful new staff, and I'm excited about this summer. We have a young man that's from Kazakhstan. He just started last week, and I brought him to Social Security this morning, and he was getting his papers so that he could get a paycheck. But Carol is a new addition to our team, and she brings a lot of energy, and she's a wonderful woman, and she is great with the customers, and she loves to cook. She's very excited, and she's getting out there, you know, talking about us to restaurants, because we do wholesale, and we do specialty cakes and things like that. And she's, you know, just really a huge fan. And Joanne was a cook for me a couple years back, and she's just very efficient, very fast, and gets the food right out. And she just came back just a few weeks ago, and she's moved to Harwich. So that's two more members of our team. And in the next few weeks, we have a couple more coming coming aboard, and two young girls that go to
Wow.
DY that are coming back for the summer as well.
Oh my.
So we'll have a full crew.
Well,
and my family always kicks in when needed too, so you got to recruit the family.
Yeah. And they do different things. I mean, there's baking going on, and it's not just the things that you bake there stay there.
Right.
They circulate.
That's right.
You cater.
We cater. We we bake our breads daily, and then our leftover breads we make croutons and breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
We also use them in our recipes for our breaded chicken and our meatballs. I take day-old cookies, I grind them up, and I use them for the crust in my cheesecakes. I mean, you try to, utilize, and it's delicious. I mean, what's better than a cheesecake with chocolate chip cookie crust? I mean, it's just really delicious. So, we do the best we can.
Well, some of it goes out with customers taking. The takeout, I think you've got a lot of people coming in to take out.
We probably have about 60% that do takeout.
Yeah.
And we only have 10 seats.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a tiny little place.
Oh, you got some nice tables there, and yeah.
We put a few outside to help us in the summer.
But yeah, it's cozy. Very cozy.
We just try to, get people in.
But yeah, the last time I was there, you remember I took out a bag of delicious cupcakes. They were ginger ones, they were blueberry ones, and I brought them to the board meeting here at the TV station, and I said, refreshment time, and I just was big smiles.
People love getting a nice treat, huh?
Yeah.
So,
but you commercially provide to other people that want gluten bread?
Yes, we do.
Gluten-free bread?
We do the Common Ground in Hyannis.
Oh.
They serve our buns. We make a large bun for them that they use on some of their sandwiches. And they also purchase our white bread for their sandwiches. And then we have Beezy's Pizza that they do a phenomenal job with their pizzas. They have a designated area where they cook their gluten-free pizzas. They're probably our biggest client in the summertime.
Yeah. Well, I'm not your biggest client, but when my wife says, can you get me some white bread? And she also doesn't like to have oats in the thing, and so your white bread doesn't have oats, but your multigrain one, which I prefer, does. And actually the ones I really like are those fruit breads. I mean, you've got the cranberry ones, you've got...
We do zucchini, banana nut, the cran orange.
Oh, the cran orange, oh.
Oh yeah, they're good. They're very good. And every once in a while people ask us for something a little different. And again, we're open to trying new things. And I'll tell people, if you're willing to be my guinea pig, I'm willing to bake it for you and give it a try. We came up with a couple years ago, Christmas Stolen. We made, I just went online, I read a variety of recipes and tried to get a feel for what the texture should be like, and we experimented. And one of my customers, she hadn't had Stolen since she was a kid. And when she came in at Christmas time to pick up her loaf, she started to cry, and she went home and she came back and she cried again because she said it was just what she remembered. It was delicious. And so then I serve that every year now. So I make that every year, and she's right there to get it. So.
Well, there's a lot of good chocolate things there too.
Oh yeah.
For people that are chocolate crazy.
Yeah, we have lots of good chocolate stuff. We are our flourless chocolate torte. We have chocolate cupcakes, vegan chocolate cupcakes, peanut butter bars, caramel bars. And the caramel bars are made with homemade caramel layered in between. They're out of this world. But my all-time favorite, and it's a family recipe, is the Ooey Gooey Butter Bar.
Ooey Gooey.
The Ooey Gooey Butter Bar. And it was my grandmother's recipe that we all used to, whenever we would have a family event, my grandmother would come in with her plate.
When I had it afterward, I had to brush my teeth. Because, oh, it was so gooey. No, it was good.
Yeah. And we used to wait for her to put that plate down, and we would attack.
Too good.
Yeah. So I converted it to gluten-free, and it's one of our best sellers for sure. But not for anyone that can't have dairy though, because it's got cream cheese and butter, and like I said, it's not calorie free. But we try to get all the favorites out there for people so that they can come in and enjoy, like a quesadilla, or we're doing crab cakes this summer, clam chowder, and lobster bisque and lobster rolls. Oh. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah. And how do you connect with other commercials, people that are in that area of South Yarmouth. It extends all the way over to, oh gosh, the Stop and Shop there, but you've got a whole range of people selling medical equipment and.
They're all regular customers of ours. I have to say that there's a number of employees at the various Stop and Shops that have family members that have celiacs, and I can't tell you how many times someone has walked in that said, you know, they were in a Stop and Shop in the gluten-free section, and an employee walked up and said, "Did you know that we have a gluten-free restaurant here?" And they tell them about us, and they come right over and give us a try. So you know, we really appreciate the local people that, you know, get the word out for us and let people know that we're there.
Yeah.
You know.
There is a website, and I've gone to it, and you can order from the website.
Yes, you can. We do online ordering, we do ship, and we do wholesale as well. So. It's Idgy's gluten-free dining.
So how many, you know, looking at your career, and I guess people are really wondering how you got into the cooking originally, but getting into your career, you've gotten finally to be a businesswoman, you've gotten to be a baker. How many designations should I be?
Well, I'm head bottle washer. Yeah, I do all of it.
You scrub the toilets too?
I do, actually. We all take turns with washing dishes and taking out the trash. And, but I actually got into the business when I was 18. I was on break from college. I was a biochemistry major. And I got a part-time job in the summer at a restaurant. And at that restaurant, they made everything from scratch. And I had a couple of chefs that loved what they did. And I think they saw that I was excited about what I was learning, and they took me under their wing, and I fell in love and I never turned back. I've been in the restaurant business since I was 18, and for the most part, self-taught.
Well, a lot of people seem to go to places in Providence, Rhode Island. There's a well-known one, and frequently the chefs
Johnson or Wells.
Yes. Say, I've got that credential, but I mean, really, there are other people that say, my grandmother taught me how.
Right.
So I think you've got the complete range.
Well, when you work in the restaurant industry and you end up in some of the major chains, they have really good training. And the first training I went through was 5 months long with TGI Fridays. And that was, you know, you had to work every position. You had to train at each station. You had to be a bartender for 4 weeks to learn how to flip the bottles. And then you spend 4 weeks just doing paperwork and management.
Flipping bottles?
Flipping bottles, making cocktails, and they have over 300
counting,
drinks.
You know, the 100 bottles of
Yeah, I had to learn how to flip 3 bottles and catch them in one hand, so I would be able to do the flair at the bar, just like the bartenders do. So, but I worked at Legal Seafoods as well as a kitchen manager, and I opened up the restaurant down in Virginia. Yeah, their first out-of-state venture. And then they transferred me over to K Street in Washington, D.C., and I learned a ton with them as well. And then I left the company and I opened up my own place. So here I am again.
Well, I think that's just wonderful. We're coming near to the end of our show, and I think that what we'll be able to say is we've got a recommendation for everybody out there. Want a good meal?
Come to Idgy's.
Come to Idgy's, yeah.
We'll take good care of you.
Yeah, Idgy's restaurant. It's a fine place to be.
Well, thank you.
Folks, thanks for watching. Cape Connect will be back with another show. We'll be there to tell you more about organizations and businesses, people, issues, and possibilities. Thanks for watching. And
thank you.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.